The world was never built for fair people. You can be loyal and still get betrayed. You can work harder than everyone else and still watch someone less capable take your place. That's reality. And the people who survive this reality, they think differently. They move differently. They understand something the average person never will. There's a form of intelligence that doesn't need attention, doesn't seek validation, and never reveals itself completely. But once you recognize it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. In leaders, in manipulators, in powerful people, maybe even in yourself. This video will change the way you see human behavior forever. And trust me, you need to stay until the very end. Because the final trait is the one most powerful people secretly use, but almost nobody talks about. So if you want to master psychology, strategy, emotional control, and modern Stoicism, subscribe to the Stoic Path. Because here, we don't teach motivation, we teach mental strength. And if this video resonates with you at any point, leave a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Now, close the distractions. Focus carefully. Because once you understand the hidden rules of human nature, you stop being controlled by the world around you. You start controlling yourself. This is dark intelligence. Not evil, not manipulation. Awareness born from pain. Dark intelligence is created when someone gets betrayed, humiliated, ignored, and underestimated for too long. Most people break after suffering, but a few become sharper because of it. They stop reacting emotionally. They start observing. While others talk, they listen. While others explode, they calculate. While others chase attention, they build leverage in silence. Most people are playing checkers. Today, you're about to learn chess. But understand this clearly before we begin. This knowledge is not meant to harm people. It's meant to protect you from manipulation, deception, and emotional weakness. The goal is not to become cold-hearted. The goal is to become untouchable. Today, you'll discover 8 psychological traits that separate survivors from victims, leaders from followers, and those who control their minds from those controlled by emotions. Trait number 1, calculated opacity. Powerful people rarely reveal everything. Most people speak too much. They explain their goals, their fears, their insecurities, their next move to anyone willing to listen. And then they wonder why people use that information against them. Strategic people understand something different. Information is power. The more predictable you become, the easier you are to manipulate. That's why intelligent people don't reveal themselves all at once. They speak with intention. They leave space for mystery. Not because they're fake, but because they understand human psychology. Mystery creates curiosity. Curiosity creates attention. And attention creates influence. Think about the most intriguing person you've ever met. They probably didn't overshare. They didn't constantly explain themselves. Their silence carried weight. And that silence made people pay attention. You don't need to answer every question completely. You don't need everyone to understand your plans. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Learn to speak less and observe more. Because once words leave your mouth, you lose control over them. Trait number 2, adaptive persona. The strongest people know how to adapt without losing themselves. Most people communicate the same way with everyone and then wonder why they constantly clash with others. But strategic people understand this. Every human being sees the world differently. Some people respond to logic. Others respond to emotion. Some value strength. Others value security. If you want influence, you must understand people deeply enough to speak their language. This is not manipulation. This is emotional intelligence. Water changes shape depending on the container, but it never stops being water. That's how mentally strong people move through life. They adjust their tone, their energy, their communication style without compromising their values. They understand that connection creates influence. And people trust those who make them feel understood. Trait number 3, detachment. The person who fears losing everything can be controlled by anyone. Most manipulation is built on fear. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of losing status, fear of losing love. The moment someone realizes you are emotionally dependent on something, they gain leverage over you. Detachment is freedom, not coldness, not apathy. Freedom. It means caring without becoming enslaved by outcomes. Most people lose themselves trying to hold on to people, situations, or validation that was never meant for them. But mentally strong people understand something powerful. If you survive your worst moment once, you can survive it again. And once you realize that fear starts losing control over you. Detached people think clearly. They don't beg. They don't chase. They don't panic. And because they remain calm, they become difficult to manipulate. Trait number 4, silent leverage. Weak power is loud. Real power rarely speaks. Most people try to dominate rooms with noise. But truly influential people understand something deeper. Silence creates pressure. Silence creates mystery. Silence forces people to reveal themselves. Strategic people don't chase respect. They become valuable enough that respect arrives naturally. They solve problems quietly. They remain calm during chaos. They become emotionally disciplined while everyone else reacts impulsively. And over time, their presence alone changes the atmosphere of a room. That's silent leverage. The strongest negotiator is often the person willing to walk away. The strongest thinker is often the quietest person observing everything. Never underestimate calm energy. Trait number 5, psychological echo. People don't just want to be heard. They want to feel understood. Most people listen just long enough to respond. Strategic people listen to decode. Behind every complaint, there's insecurity. Behind every ego, there's fear. Behind every emotional reaction, there's an unmet need. When you understand what drives people emotionally, you begin understanding human nature itself. And that changes everything. Because people rarely make decisions logically. They make them emotionally, then justify them rationally afterward. This is why emotionally intelligent people often have more influence than intellectually intelligent people. They understand feelings, needs, desires, fears, and when people feel deeply understood, they naturally trust you more. Trait number 6, pragmatic morality. The real world is rarely black and white. Sometimes being nice creates weakness. Sometimes difficult decisions protect people long-term. Weak people focus on appearances. Wise people focus on consequences. This doesn't mean abandoning morality. It means understanding reality without illusions. Sometimes leadership requires uncomfortable choices. Sometimes growth requires painful truth. And sometimes protecting your peace means disappointing people who benefited from your weakness. But never forget this: power without ethics becomes destruction. Intelligence without conscience becomes dangerous. Your values matter. Your integrity matters. True strength is knowing how to be dangerous while choosing discipline instead. Trait number 7. Controlled exposure. In a world addicted to oversharing, privacy becomes power. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your pain, your dreams, or your strategy. Strategic people reveal themselves slowly, not because they're dishonest, but because trust should be earned. Everything you reveal shapes how people perceive you, and once information is exposed, you can never fully take it back. That's why intelligent people are intentional, especially online. They understand that attention is temporary, but a reputation lasts. Mystery protects energy. Silence protects peace. And discipline protects power. Trait number 8. Outcome obsession. Most people are obsessed with being right. Strategic people are obsessed with results. There's a difference. Winning arguments means nothing if your life never improves. Real intelligence asks, what outcome am I trying to create? And then removes everything unnecessary. Ego, distraction, pointless emotional reactions, needless conflict. Outcome-focused people don't waste energy proving themselves. They move silently toward goals. They adapt quickly. They change strategies when necessary. But they never lose sight of the mission. And that mindset separates dreamers from achievers. Because successful people aren't attached to methods. They're attached to results. Now listen carefully. Dark intelligence is not about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your awareness, your discipline. Anyone can become aggressive. Anyone can pretend to be powerful. But true power is remaining calm while others panic. Seeing clearly while others react emotionally. Understanding human nature without becoming consumed by it. The most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest one. It's the person who understands psychology and remains disciplined enough not to abuse that understanding. So the real question is not, how powerful can you become? The real question is, what kind of person will you become once you understand the game? Use this knowledge wisely. Protect yourself. Think strategically. Stay emotionally disciplined. But never lose your humanity. Because intelligence without wisdom creates monsters. And wisdom without strength creates victims. Become neither. Become balanced. And if you made it this far, comment below. I control my mind before the world controls me. If this video changed your perspective, leave a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to The Stoic Path for more videos on psychology, stoicism, discipline, and mental strength. Until next time, stay calm, stay sharp, and never let the world think for you.